Yes, sir. With your permission, a very good afternoon to our eminent speaker and participants for today's webinar. As it is rightly said by an American astrologer, Carl Sagan, who says somewhere something incredible is waiting to be known. Relating to this, our PhD researchers, they need to start a research with some new magnitudes. I, Dr. Ruchi Tiwari, Associate Professor, where I welcome you for the webinar research scholars that is dying to pursue PhD. Organized by Parallel Institute, we believe in this is where you begin the future today. Bridging the gap on overall development at Parallel Institute of Law, we believe in enhancing the same by complete development of our students. So today's webinar specially organized for PhD scholars who want to benefit the society started. So I'd like to introduce who are Dean Director, Professor Akhil Syed, who has played a pivotal role in guiding the PhD students from the graduation to the PhD, and he has channeled them all with his knowledge. Sir has more than 25 years of experience, that is a blended experience with teaching, practitionering, and research. Sir has about 6 projects which are concerned areas and has handled them. Under the guidance of ma'am, I welcome you, ma'am. So, okay. Yes, sir. I'm trying. Okay, sir. Now is it audible?
Yeah, fine.
Yes, ma'am. It's audible.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I welcome Vanna, ma'am, and now I welcome our Sir Dean, Professor Akhil Syed, to give a welcome address and just brief about today's webinar. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ruchi.
आवाज बहुत कम आ रही है आपकी, मेरी ठीक आ रही है?
आपकी बहुत सही आ रही है सर।
Yes, sir.
मेरी आवाज ठीक आ रही है, आपकी तो बहुत कम आ रही है।
जी सर, आपकी आवाज एकदम क्लियर है। जी सर।
जो कुछ आपने बोला, I could not hear because it was very low voice. So I am audible.
Yeah, definitely. You are audible, sir.
My voice is okay?
Yes, sir. Your voice is okay, sir.
Hello.
Am I audible now, sir?
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, your voice is okay.
My voice is okay. Okay, I can't hear you because that is why I am asking.
Audible.
So, with the due respect and with the paying my respect to all respected teachers, the dean faculty and the coordinator research, Dr. Ruchi, other faculty colleagues, and the most important, the students who are pursuing their PhD from the prestigious Parul University. And I consider myself to be fortunate that I got the opportunity to connect with you people, and that is also on the topic of research, which is part of our life. Started studying law in the year 1993 and joined for PhD in the year 1998. Since then, I am into active research at a center which is known as Punjab University. And as in the preliminary discussion, I have been just saying that we are very busy in the university as a research, because in the affiliated colleges and in the sister departments which are related to law, the faculty of law is the only faculty which coordinates the research on law. So we have number of students, around 50 teachers who are eligible to undertake the research responsibility as a supervisor, and and more than 300 scholars are active researchers, and in this 300, I think 59 or 60 students who are JRF or getting some sort of scholarship from UGC or from other related departments or from the Punjab University itself. They have been doing this. Why I am saying so, that I am very busy with the research. We are every day we have been doing this research related work, not only guiding our own students, but at the same time, we have been into guiding the research, the whole faculty and the other students, other affiliated colleges, supervisors and whatnot. So I think the students would be very aware about the research methodology paper, and in almost all universities there is a paper relating to the research methodology. So what needs to be done is their part, and I think students has gone through this. So what I will be doing, I would be sharing my experience on the research and only taking the points which are necessary for discussion of this. And my discussion would be fruitful if some questions are being asked by the students on their related topics. And if I can contribute out of my own knowledge and experience, that what could I contribute to their research, then I would be happy that I have contributed a very meaningful time in the Parul University among the scholars. Once again, thanking Dr. Ruchi, who is instrumental today to get me connected to the university and to the new students in the other part of the country, where we can interact this through this virtual mode. If I start with a very practical thing, then PhD has two practical points. As and when somebody asks you, the students, that what is you are doing, so you simply say, sir, I am doing, or madam, I am doing PhD. So PhD के लिए जो आपसे सवाल पूछेंगे वो हम टीचर्स के पास, हम स्कॉलर्स के पास, एक्सपर्ट्स के पास, सिलेक्शन कमेटी के पास या किसी जगह सवाल दो ही पूछे जाते हैं, व्हाट इज योर टॉपिक. इसको एक्सपीरियंस करिएगा. हम भी जैसे तोते हैं, हमारे पास भी यही सवाल है. अगर स्टूडेंट से 5 मिनट के लिए इंटरेक्शन करना है तो हमारे 2 ही सवाल हैं, उसके आगे हम नहीं जाते. इसलिए 2 सवाल आपको कितने आते हैं ये आपने देखना है. ये मैं आपको प्रैक्टिकल पार्ट बता रहा हूँ पीएचडी का. क्या टॉपिक है आपका? सो आप अपना टॉपिक बताते हैं, अपना टॉपिक बताते हैं. Whatever is the topic which is given to you by the faculty, by the department and by the university, it is quite lengthy. Saying the law relating to this critical analysis and its functioning in the area of this बड़ोदरा और सांबेर, लंबा टॉपिक होता है. इसलिए अगले आदमी को इतना समझ नहीं आता. आप सिंपल सी बात कह देते हैं कि जी मैं तो ग्रामीण न्यायालय पे बात कर रहा हूँ, इतना सा बात करते हैं. फिर वो जब ग्रामीण न्यायालय की बात करते हैं, somebody is interested, then they ask you full topic. फिर उस पर थोड़ी चर्चा होती है जितना टाइम है. लेकिन अगर कम टाइम है तो दूसरा सवाल एकदम आ जाता है, कौन सी यूनिवर्सिटी है और कौन आपका गाइड है. सो 5 मिनट की इंटरेक्शन तो सबकी यही है. सब लोग सिलेक्शन कमेटी में भी अगर आपसे 2 मिनट इंटरेक्शन करनी है, प्रिलिमिनरी डिस्कशन करनी है, तो आपका टॉपिक, आपकी यूनिवर्सिटी और आपका गाइड. इन 3 चीजों की सिलेक्शन आपकी बहुत टाइम के बाद, बहुत ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग के बाद, बहुत चॉइस के बाद होनी चाहिए. वी हैव प्लेंटी ऑफ चॉइसेस टुडे. हमारे पास कई एरिया हैं, टॉपिक हैं रिसर्च के जिसमें हम रिसर्च कर सकते हैं. बहुत सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं जो रिसर्च करा रही हैं, एंड देयर आर गुड नंबर ऑफ सुपरवाइजर्स अवेलेबल. ये 3 चीजें जो हैं आप इनको बेसिक मान के चलिए और इन पे अच्छा टाइम लगाइए. और अगर ये 3 चीजें जो हैं वो आपकी बेसिक हैं फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ परस्यूइंग पीएचडी और एडिंग ए प्रीफिक्स टू योर नेम व्हिच इज डॉक्टर, आप अपने नाम के साथ डॉक्टर लगाना चाहते हैं, तो इन 3 चीजों का बड़ा ध्यान रखें. और इन्हीं 3 चीजें आपको लेके जाएंगी, और 3 चीजों का सवाल जब भी आपके नाम के साथ कोई डॉक्टर देखेगा एंड यू आर नॉट वियरिंग द व्हाइट कोट, देन डेफिनेटली ये 3 क्वेश्चन आपसे हमेशा पूछे जाएंगे, यूनिवर्सिटी टॉपिक एंड गाइड। सो इसके लिए चॉइस भी लगाएं, इसके लिए मेहनत भी करें और इसके लिए सब कुछ करें। once you do this, उसके बाद आपको पीएचडी किस टॉपिक पे करनी है, सिलेक्शन ऑफ टॉपिक की बात कर रहा हूं। व्हाट कैन बी योर टॉपिक, व्हाट शुड बी योर टॉपिक, व्हाट इज योर रिसर्च। वैसे तो हम स्कूल लेवल पे कहना शुरू कर देते हैं कि स्टूडेंट शुड चूज हिज और हर एरिया। रिसर्च में अब जो नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी नई आई है, वी स्टार्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्पेशलाइजेशन एंड क्रेडिट पेपर्स इन द क्लास 9th और 10th, कि तब बच्चा आइडेंटिफाई करना शुरू करे, इंटरेस्ट शो करना शुरू करे कि मैंने करना क्या है। सो अगर आपने इनोवेशन पे, रिसर्च पे जाना है, तो मुझे लगता है कि आपको अपना आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा एरिया, और उसके लिए कोई हेल्पफुल नहीं हो सकता। your own knowledge, your own experience, your own perceptions of your life would say कि मुझे क्या करना है। वो आपको कोई हेल्प नहीं कर सकता इस चीज में। क्या हेल्प कर सकता है? आपका अपना एक्सपीरियंस, आपकी अपनी परसेप्शंस लाइफ की, और जितना आपको लाइफ में उन चीजों से सपोर्ट मिला है कि आप एक्सपीरियंस गैदर कर चुके हैं, आप कुछ प्रैक्टिकली गेन कर चुके हैं, आपका नॉलेज। इसलिए आप एक्सपेक्ट ना करें। कई बार स्टूडेंट आ जाता है, सामने बैठ जाता है, सर पीएचडी करनी, जड़ा टॉपिक देना हो दे दो, ऑन वट एवर टॉपिक आई एम रेडी टू परस्यू। हमें पता लग जाता है दैट इज द कैंडिडेट सिटिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ मी इज नॉट ए सीरियस बिजनेस। वो कोई इट इज ही डजंट मीन बिजनेस, ही डजंट मीन रिसर्च, ही जस्ट वांट टू पास ए टाइम and want to tag of the university and want a prefix of doctor। वो एक प्रीफिक्स चाहता है कि मुझे डॉक्टर लग जाए, क्योंकि वो कह रहा है कि मेरी रिसर्च का काम कर लूंगा। मेरी रिसर्च का काम कर लूंगा, ये संभव नहीं है। मेरी रिसर्च का काम आप नहीं कर सकते। यस, यू कम विद द आइडिया दैट आई वांट टू वर्क ऑन दिस, बट माय आइडियाज आर रैंडम। अगर मेरे आइडिया बड़े रैंडम है, सो व्हाट शुड आई डू? सो टीचर कैन हेल्प यू, और एक टीचर नहीं, कई टीचर। अभी आपने सुपरवाइजर भी चुना, आप कई लोगों से बात कर सकते हैं दैट आई हैव रैंडम थॉट, आई वांट टू वर्क ऑन दिस। सो आप डिस्कशन कर सकते हैं, अपने आप को एक्सप्लोर कर सकते हैं, एंड देन यू गेट द गाइडेंस फ्रॉम द यूनिवर्सिटी, फ्रॉम द सीनियर टीचर्स ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटी, फ्रॉम द कंसर्न्ड फैकल्टीज ऑफ द यूनिवर्सिटी, एंड देन टू द लॉ प्रोफेसर्स, लॉ टीचर्स who could help you that yes, now finally your random thoughts are being crystallized and you are focusing on a particular topic. It may be international trade, it may be IPR, it may be relating to agriculture, it may be relating to the anything, social topics, institutional topic, जो बड़े परंपरागत टॉपिक हैं कि मैं एक जी उस पे काम करना, सोशल इंस्टीट्यूशन पे काम करना चाहता हूँ, मैं टॉरी पे काम करना चाहता हूँ, मैं फैमिली रिलेशंस पे काम करना चाहता हूँ। सोशल इंस्टीट्यूशंस है, हम एक प्रॉपर जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस हैं उन पे काम करना चाहते हैं, मैं जजेस की अपॉइंटमेंट पे काम करना चाहता हूँ, मैं पार्लियामेंट्री प्रिविलेजेस पे काम करना चाहता हूँ। एनी टॉपिक, ये आपने एक टॉपिक डिसाइड करना है, और एक टॉपिक डिसाइड करके 4-6 एक्सपर्ट से मिलने के बाद आप क्रिस्टलाइज करेंगे दैट यस, नाउ आई एम गोइंग विद दिस टॉपिक। सो आपने अपना टॉपिक चूज कर लिया, उसमें अच्छी ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग आपकी होनी चाहिए, एंड यू शुड मीट सम पीपल। आपको आपके सीनियर्स हो सकते हैं, आपके टीचर्स हो सकते हैं, आपके दूसरे कंसर्न डिपार्टमेंट में, सोशल साइंसेज में, साइंसेज में, इस बात के लिए कुछ लोग हो सकते हैं, दे कैन असिस्ट यू, दे कैन गाइड यू। वो ऐसा हो सकता है, ये संभव है। इसको करने के बाद ही किसी नतीजे पे पहुंचे कि ये टॉपिक है, और इस यूनिवर्सिटी में जाएंगे। और जिन लोगों से बातचीत की थी उनमें से एक आपको गाइड भी चाहिए। गाइड सुनते बड़ी, एक तो सब्जेक्ट का नॉलेज जो है वो मुझे लगता है 90% से ज्यादा काम करता है। 90% से ज्यादा मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूं कि अगर गाइड सही है, गाइड का एरिया वो है, तो अब बहुत आगे जा सकते हैं वो सब्जेक्ट में। आई हैव सीन माय स्टूडेंट्स, मैंने लगभग 20 बच्चों को पीएचडी की डिग्री मेरे अवार्ड हो गई है। 8 स्टूडेंट्स आर डूइंग विद मी
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
And human rights. मुझे आवाज नहीं आ रही आपकी.
Sir, there are international students.
जी.
There are international students. There are international students. So, sir, it would be better अगर we go in English
Okay,
fluently.
English. Okay. Good.
जी जी. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. I am sorry to the international students and apologize. Actually, I could not hear from the other side. So you are all international. Some of you are international students. So it is better that I should interact in English only. So you finalize your topic. You choose your area after doing a lot of brainstorming and taking assistance from the experts, from the guides, from the department, and from the literature available online, offline, and Google. Everywhere there are things. So you should take assistance from there and reach to the conclusion that I am going with this topic and this is my area of research. I am talking about the guide and the supervisor. Once you choose the supervisor, then your 90% or above 75% concentration should be on topic and the subject. That if he is the master of the subject, then you can go very long way. You can achieve heights. If you are pursuing the area of your supervisor, if he is in the same area, you can go anywhere. You can do whatever you like because you can explore the areas which has already been explored and your guide is trying to do. So there is a lot of scope in that area if the area is safe. And if area is same, then rest of the considerations are your should not say on record or should not be part of the academics and literature available. Lekin what I want to convey is that most important is the behavior, not sociology wise, not psychology wise, but practically. If you are a man who wants a lot of interaction, this is your attitude in life. This is your behavior, basic behavior, that you want a lot of interaction. You read one thing and then you discuss and then you want comments. But somehow your guide is in-depth researcher. He hardly interacts. He writes and he speaks rarely. He means business. Whenever you take some pages to him, only then. So it is a basic difference between you and your guide. You want interaction. You are always for interaction, but guide is a little bit less interactive. So if you have a choice, then yes, it can be there. If you have no choice of the guide, nevertheless, these are the personal things. And as an experience, I can say, I'm not a man of intellectual property right yet. I have started working on intellectual property right recently. I'm not man of this, but I have enrolled a student on this, understanding that the student is very much into this, and IPR is not rocket science basically, so I can't understand rocket science. IPR is a subject. Basically, if this is talks about regulations, regulation is like any other regulations. It is like company law regulations. It is like company law board regulations. So regulation means so it is not something which I can't understand. So subject minds you. If you have a keen interest in the subject, your guide has interest or he wants to create an interest into this, then it means you have now similarities. Now behavior has nothing to do because your guide is interested in the subject and you are interested in the subject, and because of the subject you have met and you have now a lot of things to discuss and a lot of things to go ahead. So basically subject binds you both, where little bit behavior adjustment can also be done through this subject interest. If your guide is interested in your subject, then automatically he would be guiding you better and shall have better interaction, better communications at all levels, and your communication will not be lost at any time. Now you have selected topic, you have selected guide, supervisor for yourself. Then what you need to know what you need to know, you should write random thoughts. Suppose you start working on the Dory problem. Dory problem, then Dory, what is the Dory problem? What is its history? How it has worked in the different parts of the country, and how it has been working in the area where I am living. Where I am living, this is pre-thoughts. You should have random thought that you are living in a small town. Do you know what type of cases come? You come to know immediately. If you visit the police station people immediately let you know that this type of litigation is on this Dory related things. If it is relating to the patents or copyright, you visit any of the office or you visit this virtually online or something like this, you immediately get the feel that what is the local idea in this. One is the problem is global, one the problem has background, the history, etc. And then finally you come to know that what is the relation of this problem to my area. Because my area or my library which has a literature on the subject which I have studied, and because of this I have been into this topic. So you need to be connected to the local material, local problem, local subject. So if it is there, then you should write something that problems history, problems global perspective, and then problems local perspective, Indian perspective, and approach at the same time. You are writing randomly. You are not preparing a synopsis now. You are writing randomly. And once you write 5,000 words on this, then you get a satisfaction that I have random thoughts on this. You go meet with your supervisor and discuss that yes, this is this. And at times, the supervisor says that your ideas and thoughts are very good on the subject. We will formalize your paper because you have written this. Now it is our duty to promote you. So at times when you have taken a piece of paper containing 3,400 words, 4,000 words, then we normally say that your random thoughts, you have written thousands of words on this. So if you have some sources, then let us start working on this and let us have a publication on the subject. So you see, the motivational factor of the supervisor comes in immediately. That yes, supervisor himself is motivated. He has interest in the subject and he is interested in the candidate, the scholar, and his scholarly work. And you start doing this. If your work is not up to the mark, you have random thoughts. Random thoughts means you are not connecting the things as such. Then guide immediately gets the feel that where the student is and how much work I have to do on the scholar and to work on him along with him and with him. So to boost his morale and the academic standard. This is something. This random writing of 1,000 word or more than 1,000 words gives us a feedback as a guide to me that where student actually stands now as far as the research is concerned. Then once it is being done, then right from this at this point of time, you are in need of your supervisor. You are in need of your guide. On every step you want to consult him because you have chosen the topic, you have chosen the guide, and you want to go ahead. So every moment you call him, every time you are discussing the subject with him, and kindly make this habit. Why I want to emphasize that in early stages, student has no idea of research, no idea of the topic which has been chosen. So student frequently meets his guide or her guide every day. Either there is a call or either there is something else. Continuously it has been happening and it has been done like that. So हर बार कुछ ना कुछ होता है, रोज गाइड की जरूरत है. Every day they want that we should meet our guide. And subsequently, if it is not an habit, then you leave it and many things come in. What I mean to say is, for the practical point of view from the research is that never lose a connect with your guide. Physical, social, virtual, email, whatever you call, you should be in touch with your guide. You are reading something, you are writing something, you are finding something new till the end. Till the end is formality, and subsequent to that also, we as a teacher, as a guide, as a supervisor, want to be associated with our students. Let me tell you this very frankly. We want students, interested students, and even after the their search is over. So make it a habit. In the initial stage, you need guide. Then you visit the guide every day, virtually or physically or by any other mode. And subsequently, you see your convenience that I should go or should not go. This should not happen. Guide, as I told you, your topic and your guide are most important. So never leave your guide. Meet regularly. Be in continuous touch of that in this area, and then with your guide, and then would be it would be helpful to you throughout this. Now you try to, once you have the title, once you have the area, once you have the guide, then you need to know that what would be the scope of my study. What would I study? From which aspect I'll study? Very simple example I am giving, that you have started finally, that I will study the feminism or problems relating to females. Then there are many aspects on which you work. It can be psychological side, it can be medical side, it can be working women side, it can be sexual problems relating to women, it can be agriculture women, it can be daily wager women. You have to identify your scope of the study. You have into this. You can't study everything relating to women. Even if in the domestic relationship, now the problems seems to be from two ways, no doubt. First is that it is into this problem is we say that women as a victim, and women at times can abuse the process of law at times. So both the things are there. What do you want to do? I have seen few titles of the books now on the crime against women, crime by women. So domestic violence against women, domestic violence, misuse of law. I have started seeing this kind of title in the newspapers and the magazines, and no doubt it has not come up to the level of research. But you have to see what you actually want to do. So which aspect, meaning thereby you have to take the scope of your study. That within which framework you want to work. You want to do work. You want to do women as a victim or women as a which where the procedure of law is a little bit is being misused or overused. So your scope of study need to be identified. Once these things are being clear, then it means now you are ready to take off the research formally. Formally means now you have to prepare the synopsis, which you have prepared or in the process of preparing, or if prepared, submitted, passed, then you are working on it, meaning thereby you are following your synopsis. Synopsis never leaves you. Synopsis is very important document. And most of the universities, as university also, UGC also desires that your synopsis, copy of your synopsis shall be accompanied for the evaluation purpose. When you submit this, the final research, then either the abstract, some of the university has made the abstract, or some of the universities has made it synopsis. The copy of the synopsis should be accompanied. So 3 years earlier, what was your idea and what have finally you have produced? So synopsis is very important, and synopsis is step by step. You call it that introduction you have written earlier in the random thoughts, and now what you want to do is the problem profile. In synopsis, the most important thing is, the first thing is rather, that is a problem profile. Obviously, when you have chosen the topic, when you have finalized your title, your topic, then what was in your mind? in your mind was your own taste. Why you have chosen this topic? So you have chosen this topic for certain resolutions. You see many problems. You have identified certain problems there. So if you have identified certain problems there, what are those problems? You have need to write down. Suppose you are working on a school education and examination pattern of the school education, the regulations by the school education boards and the CBSEs, etc. If you are working on this, then you need to know the present examination system and the problems in that. Problems in the system are that students do not prepare the whole syllabus. In the examination, very small part of the syllabus is being asked. Then examination, there is a copying problem, there is a evaluation problems, there is a revaluation problem, there is a result declaration problems. So you identify many problems. If you go to the agriculture things, pesticide and patent side things, then you identify many problems that in agriculture, patent things relating to seeds, pesticides, and many other things. So you need to identify the problems in the given topic. जो आपका topic है, you need to know the problems in that. What are the problems in the area? So problem profile you prepare. This is the magnitude of the problem. You are identifying the problem in the problem area, and these problems has prompted you to take this topic because your intellectual level is being disturbed at some point of time, that I don't want to see this and I want to find a solution for the same. So your problem profile is like this, and then with problem profile, what are your objective of the study? Objective and hypothesis are interwoven basically. You see your hypothesis. What is my hypothesis? Hypothesis, if I give a general statement of the hypothesis, you see your problem, law is very less. Law is insufficient. I want new law. So you have seen both the things, that in my area of research, there are more problems, less laws, or less solutions. So I will go for a new thing, that is a new law. That is a new law. I will find a new law. It means you are not satisfied, and your hypothesis is that problems are many in this area, your particular area, and there is a new law. As we say, noise pollution, water pollution, we say that whatever law we have may not be sufficient. We need to make some other law on the subject, and we need to go for this. So hypothesis is a statement of your problem and statement of probable solution. Your hypothesis has to be very relevant. So what do you want? You have to say very randomly that yes, you want new law. Or at times you say that law is there, but I want the actual implementation. Or you say that problem is being taken wrongly by this law, so it needs to be taken right in the right perspective. So your hypothesis and then objective are to be interwoven. And accordingly, you will frame the objective, or objective should respond to hypothesis, and your hypothesis should respond to the objective. They should be fitted into each other. There's a connection between the both. Your objective is to know the background of this problem, whatever in your hand, your topic, relating to your topic. You need to know that how the law is being implemented in this subject, and what is the ideal solution for this. Then it matches with your hypothesis. It matches with your hypothesis. And 4 or 5 the objectives are sufficient to explain your hypothesis, or to respond to your hypothesis, or to corroborate with your hypothesis and your problem profile. They are sufficient. At times, what I find that student wants to become very addressing to the all problems. And at times I say to the student on the lighter mode that you are drafting your objective as if you want to find the problem, you want to find the solution to your problem squarely. You don't want to leave anything. As if a political party is drafting a manifesto and they don't want to leave any section of the society. So they write something for everyone. So at times the objectives are being framed 13, 14, 15 objectives. Like the problem will be eradicated. As if the student is very much into his problem profile, and he want to solve. So he want to solve or she want to solve, and they are taking the objectives like that. Objective statement is not your solution and resolutions. It has to be fit in with the hypothesis. It has to be fit in with your problem profile and with the scope of study, that what you want to do actually. Within this framework, I will do this. There are related problems to this topic, but I am not entering into this. So my objective, my hypothesis, and my search profile is my scope of my study. So therefore, I am doing this. I am not going beyond this. You need to know a little bit of literature review on the subject. You need to study now the literature on the subject. Literature review in some synopses are being mandatory part nowadays. That you read 10-20 books, 10-20 articles, or 10-20 judgments relating to this, so you get the feel of the synopsis and of the problem. So you need to know this literature also. Once you find the problem, once you have objective and hypothesis, which is random thoughts, then you study more on the subject, because you are in the preparation, you are preparing synopsis. So you need to study the existing literature on the problem. And as I always say, be in social sciences, law is no exception. This is a research. Research means we will search what has already been searched. We will be taking the assistance from the literature, existing literature. So if there is enough existing literature, then it will be easier for me to find the faults, find the gaps, and apply my own things, applying my own research on that. And I'll say that there was a gap in the research, social search, and I have filled that gap. So existing literature is very, very important. As you know, with the modernization and with many problems with the new society, we have a culture nowadays which has exhibitions. On many occasions, social occasions, we have an exhibition even of an item which is very essential, that is food. We exhibit the food. 100 items for eating for 200 people. This is an exhibition of food. As a social scientist, you see this is wastage. This is the wastage of food. India can't afford this. My area can't afford this. My community can't afford this. You want to research this topic. Why this wastage is taking place? You shall have many problems in your mind, but you get into solution. But when you go to the solution, I am referring to the existing literature. I'm sorry. It might have been reflected by some social thinkers, social writers, Chetan Bhagat ji, or some people like that. I highlighted this problem. But when we go to the research, we are taking the research in law faculty. So where is the literature? You can have literature when there are regulations. Where are the regulations? There are no regulations. We don't have regulations. We don't regulate the parties because this is considered a purely personal affair, private affair of a family. So we don't have literature. So if you identify a problem which you do not find regulation, you do not find law, you do not find existing literature, then your guide might suggest that either you have to change the faculty or collaborate with the faculty, public health, or something like this. So we can collaborate and we can have something outside law. Purely going in the law faculty may be a problem for us because we don't have regulation pan India. Central government, state governments, nobody's regulation are there. There can be many areas like this, upcoming problems on which there may not be many things, and still it has to be solved. So literature review is important. Some literature on the topic is there. And nowadays, research methodology, I am very clear on this, and it is my perception of the search problem. You can't complete your search unless and until there's a non-doctrinal search. Unless and until you do some field study, you can't do justice to your topic, and you have to do this. Actually, I am in the faculty as a supervisor and as a teacher. I always suggest to my students that go for field study, go for questionnaire, go for some case study methods or something like that. You can't complete your study because without having some field from the you can't do justice to the topic unless and until you have something on the field study in the form of questionnaire, in the form of a case study method, or in the case of interview methods. If you do not have that, then you can't do justice, or I would say that your search can't contribute anything unless and until your topic is such, your title is such that definitely you can't afford, you can't have the social feedback in the form of questionnaire, in the form of interviews or something like that. And then finally you give your search design that is known as a chapterization. Yes, I will carry this research. Nowadays, search topics are being very crystal clear, where you see the topics are the chapters are being divided, like it is introduction, it is historical background, this is conclusion, this is suggestion, this is a judicial articulation of your topic, whatever topic is there. Then you see that this is a judicial interpretation by the judiciary. This is topic, legislative things relating to your topic, and then empirical study chapter. So these are the 5-6 chapters with which you go for the research, and you see for this, and your bibliography need to be very rich. In this case, you should have very good number of books or title, the articles, the softwares. Nowadays, you say there are few softwares which are providing the research search engines in law. They are providing. So you need to gather a lot of material on the subject, and nowadays you have timelines to meet. As in my university, we say you should come after 6 months. The problem which I told you earlier, that in the beginning you need your guide. So every day you are in connect with your guide, and subsequently when you feel comfortable after submitting your synopsis, then you may forget your guide. Then in the university, we have introduced the system. We have 6 monthly presentations to the faculty where so 6 monthly presentations are there, and in the 6 monthly presentations, we see that what you have done, and now we have made Excel sheet of the students and the computer. So after 6 months, if he say that I have prepared chapter 2 and next time I shall be preparing chapter 4. So when he comes, we show him the previous report that you said 6 months earlier that you will be preparing chapter 4. How much work you have done on chapter 4? So this is the timeline you have to meet, and you know that the latest guidelines of the UGC, which says beyond 5 years there shall not be any extension if you don't have a reasons beyond your control. Then you have to complete your research within the specified time. So this is a timeline which need to be followed by you, and then bibliography has to be rich. And nowadays there is another formal thing which has come, and which is not new because it is there in a plagiarism. You have to have a plagiarism report. Earlier it is a mutual understanding of the student and guide. Student brings a certificate saying the work is being done, original work on my side, countersigned by the student, and then UGC started saying that this is not only the guide, but the chairperson need to sign, and the chairperson now do not sign such kind of documents normally. So what happens? What happens at times? At times, there are problems of plagiarism because you save yourself under the this copyright law saves you, but plagiarism can't save you. So plagiarism report is very important, and nowadays you are not supposed to submit unless and until you get a clearance certificate from the software. It can be Taranton, it can be any other software which is being recognized by your university. Then you need to know that software. You need to take according to the guidelines. You have to be like this. Very last experience. I have many things to share, but last experience just on this. I have got a thesis for an evaluation just before the lockdown period, and when you are caught in the plagiarism, then because plagiarism says that you can't have 10 words similar to the earlier one, you have to acknowledge them, and you are acknowledging, then you are compiling. So it means it need not be copied. Some fresh ideas, some observation need to be there from your side. So this is a human activity basically, but how this software catches you, that you are writing in a one sentence that Supreme Court and the latest judgment on the temple issue has decided this. So these are 10 words. So what you do, you start changing the words. You start changing the word, and how the candidate has changed the words. If it is being written men and women, so men and women, you change it men and female. If it is men and female, it is changed. If it says teachers and students, it says teachers and scholars. So you are trying to change, and after reading 3-4 pages, you start saying, you start vomiting that what I am reading, I am not reading a language. So therefore, this is the latest thing which the scholars try to avoid this or stick this software. But you can be escaped. Software से आप निकल सकते हैं, but when you go to the supervisor, when you go to the evaluator, 2-3 evaluators every university has nowadays, and then Viva and all that. So you can't escape, and the senior guides and the guides who are state-based, they say that this is rejected. No other thing is rejected. So I'm not threatening you from doing search. Yes, we are into this. I have written a paper on Sabrimala review. Sabrimala review, I have written a paper and put in the software. Software says your 70% match is there. Because the terminology, the words which I have used, 70%. I am not afraid of 70 words. I have started giving my own observation into this and doing many things, and I have brought it at 10. So I am not afraid of software. Software is assisting me. That's all. Whatever you have written is 60%, is 70%. Take care of this, and then helping us. We should take it positively. This is similar as we send our article for publication. Suppose I send my article for publication to Baroda University, and Baroda University says that your article doesn't meet our standard. This is beyond standard. So rewrite it. So I am not enemy, or Baroda University is not my enemy, or Parole University is not my enemy now because they have rejected me, because they have told me that your article is not up to our expectation, not up to this. So I am thankful that I have met a new people, I have met a new institution which has a standard which I have not acquired in my life yet. So I have to raise my standard and I have to reach there. I am very thankful. They have given me opportunity to rise. So rejections are to be taken like that. It can be of software for plagiarism. It can be for articles, for your publication, which is mandatory nowadays. So as a scholar, you have to be positive always. Positive to the extent that if somebody is trying to find fault in you, that that is your guide, that is your faculty, that is your academic committee, that is your RDC, that is your any person for whose help you have gone, for scholarly help you have gone. If they are not dismotivating you, they are not demotivating you, they are not rejecting your ideas, but they say, come up, come up. This is the right time. You start working, and then you can contribute to the society more than one way. You can be research scholar, you can be judge, you can be better advocate, you can be better social worker, but have a right approach. So, as a youngster, as a scholars, you have positive approach. You take your rejections, you take your improvements very positively. If somebody is suggesting, then you should be thankful to that person, that that person is very closely watching your work, reading your work, and then pointing out your mistakes. So I think that is from my side. And again, I would submit with this, that spend time on selecting the topic, and never lose contact with your supervisor. Even after your research is submitted, you have become doctor, you have become teacher, you have become judge, you have become something in your life. Never lose the contact with your guide, and that is what we teachers are following. And we love to be associated and known by our students. This is the hallmark of teaching profession, that if I am known by my own scholars, they are representing me at every place, because I know every time somebody asks them that you are doctor, so you have done PhD. Yes, I've done PhD. On what topic? Topic is this. And who was your guide? Your guide, they remember me immediately. So they keep me academically alive everywhere. So we as a guide want to associate with the students, not during the research, but beyond the research too. So thank you very much. These are my thoughts, few thoughts, not thoughts, these are my experiences in research which I have shared with Parul University today, with the faculty members, and at your disposal. I have switched off my
Thank you, sir.
this camera for the reason that my battery was dying very fast, because I have 2 lectures of my class today.
Okay.
And another conference. So I'm sitting in the office. So therefore it is on charging. Therefore it is on charging. So therefore I thought that I should do it up to 130 at least. So it will go on now. I have the charger and I am working on this. I can switch on the camera or not also. Ji.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ji, sir. Can you listen me? Yes, sir. Am I audible to you, sir?
I don't know why, but it is very difficult to hear you. So if you can type, then I can see.
Sir, just turn on the captions. Sir, turn on the captions button. Turn on the caption button.
Okay, I will take few. Thank
So
you
now-
very much, sir. That's okay.
Sir. Yes. Sir, am I audible now? Can you just see?
No, now I'm putting it my ear,
What I-
then only then. Yes, please.
Yes, sir. The thing is how important the title is. Title is for a researcher.
Title shows your interest, what you
Yes.
want actually. Formal title is given to you by the supervisor, by the RDC and others, but the
sir.
subject is yours. Please take help from others just to explore your perceptions, your experience, and your knowledge, and your readings, your habits, your hobbies, your interests. But don't borrow topics from others. It is like the example where in LLB class or LLM class or in your graduation class, you borrow the notes from others. You borrow the notes from others. Notes are always personal. So you can borrow the notes from others just to get through the examination, just to get pass in the examination, just to get the basic marks in the examination, but you can't excel. You can't be meritorious by borrowing the notice from someone. You have to prepare your own notes. So therefore, as far as the selection of topic is concerned, others
True, sir.
can help you to shape your ideas, shape your perceptions, your experience, your thoughts. But the original thing shall come from you,
Yes, sir.
which is based upon your experience, knowledge, readings, etc. Ji, I am hearing now. You can say something, Ruchi, Dr. Ruchi.
Yes, sir. Am I audible now?
Yes, I have to put my phone in my ear only, then I can hear you.
Yes, sir. No, nothing, sir. But the students, actually, the questions which have come were regarding the plagiarism, were regarding the other which you have already covered, sir, very nicely, and which was a very nice session, enlightenment session. That was how important the thesis title is, how important the sample is, or whether we should go for doctrinal or a non-doctrinal research. Am I in the literature review is so towards the vote of thanks.
Ji.
Am I audible?
Yes, audible. You're audible.
Yes, sir. I'm moving towards vote of thanks. Thank you, sir. Wait a minute. It was my yes, sir. To propose a vote of thanks on this occasion, I extend a very hearty vote of thanks to Professor Devendra Singh, sir, who is a dean from Punjab Technical University, Punjab Law Faculty, that is for gracing the chair and edifying our PhD students about their confusion in how to do a research, how to select a topic, whom to approach, when to approach, and whether to do a doctrinal or a non-doctrinal research. How important is the part of plagiarism in today's days? Sir covered every aspect from 0 to 10. Now, even I would like to thank our director and dean, Professor Akhil Syed, sir, for his constant support and guidance to make this possible. Even I would like to thank Dr. Vanna Patel ma'am, who actually by her presence graced the occasion. I would like to also mention a special thanks to our participants for their cooperation. Stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you all from Parul Institute of Law, Parivar. Thank you all. It was very nice to have you all. Thank you so much, sir. It was very nice to have you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ji, sir.